G'day guys, Fitcho here and welcome to another MotoGP 18 video, and today we're doing something a little bit different. Now, on this year's installment of the game, Milestone have implemented a brand new slider system for the AI difficulty, which I think is fantastic, because now you can always find that perfect difficulty for you. No more getting stuck in between the 4 or 5 difficulties that they've had on the past games, and for me personally, that perfect AI difficulty is realistic 100%. If you guys watch my career mode series, which I highly recommend you should, the link to that playlist will be in the description. You should definitely check that out once you're done watching this video. That AI difficulty is perfect for me. At one of my bad tracks, it can throw a real curveball and I can really struggle against the AI. And then at a good track, I can go out and have an excellent race. So that works good for me. I'm sure you guys have your own AI difficulties that you've found are good for you if you guys have already picked up the game, which I recommend you should. I'm really enjoying it. But it got me wondering, how slow is the slowest AI? This system goes from 20% up to 120%, which is a bit strange. I would have thought it'd go from 0 to 100%, but it doesn't. Anyway, I'm interested to see how slow the slowest AI are. So if we scroll all the way down from 100% down to the very easy AI, the slowest we have, like I said, is 20%, and I want to see how slow these guys actually are. And obviously just me going out and racing the very easy AI, 20% AI, when I normally race on 100, isn't going to make for the most interesting video. So to spice things up, I'm not going to leave the grid on the first lap. I'm going to wait for every bike to come around and lap me, and then get myself going, overtake or unlap myself on everyone, try to catch back up, get that lap back, and pass everyone again, and go on to win the race. So for today's race, we are heading to the Mugello circuit, one of my favorite tracks on the MotoGP calendar. And of course, we visited this place just last weekend in real life, and I'm going to be using the real life Italian Grand Prix race winner in today's race, Jorge Lorenzo, who finally did what nobody thought he would be able to do and win on a Ducati. Let's get into today's race. I've actually set it to 100% race, 22 laps, because the AI actually aren't as slow as you might think. I did a little bit of testing, and this should actually prove to be a decent challenge.
Hi motorcycle fans tuning in. Today's MotoGP race is being held in the hills of Tuscany, where the Italian Grand Prix is about to start. The skies over the track are clear of clouds, and the latest weather reports forecast temperatures in line with the seasonal average. Not long to go now until the Italian Grand Prix here in Mugello, one of the most challenging and spectacular tracks in the entire championship.
Here we go, it is race time in Mugello. We are sitting on the grid as Jorge Lorenzo right at the back. The lights are on and it's lights out, and away we go. The Italian Grand Prix is underway and I am in no rush to get going here. Like I said, we're going to let these guys go on, complete one lap and lap us, every single bike, not just the leader, and we'll go a full lap down, and then we've got to unlap ourselves on every bike, then catch up that lap, overtake every bike again to try to win today's Grand Prix. And I've just noticed traction control has switched itself back on. That is one thing I don't like about this game. Every time I load into a session, even if I use no traction in qualifying, I jump into the race, traction is still back on and I have to keep turning it off. It is a little bit frustrating, and that's something I do hope they address. Oh, I can hear some bikes. They're coming through Corintaio, just up the hill, I believe, and we're about to get this race underway for ourselves. Let's look back and wait for them to round that final corner any second now. We're going to see some bikes coming flying at us at some ridiculous speeds. Here we go. I can just see the specs coming. Let's get ourselves into gear. The revs up, and I'm going to leave the grid now, because by the time I get up to speed, I'm going to be lapped by everyone. We want to lose as little time as we possibly can as we head up. Oh my god, this is getting scary. They're coming at so fast. I'm just going to have to back off here. Oh, Bradley Smith, go past, go past. That is Tom Luthi, and I think that is everyone. I think a couple bikes might have crashed, but I can't see anyone behind us on the minimap. So now we are going to go for it. We have 23 bikes in front of us. Yeah, we are actually in last place. We're in 24th. I'm forgetting how many people are in the MotoGP field. A little embarrassing. I have been doing the Rookies Cup, which has 26, so I was just second guessing myself as we head down to Materassi, and then what is this corner again? Borgo San Lorenzo, that's it. Trying to remember all these names of the corners. Like I said, I do love that brand new feature. It's now down to Casanova, up the inside of Xavier Simeon, and we're not really pushing it all that hard right now. It's hard to really go for it among all this traffic that is going so slowly, I should say, as up the hill we go through the two Arrabbiatas now. We've got Franco Morbidelli. Oh, we're getting, oh, that's too wide on the curb. That's too wide on the curb. Pull that back, pull that back. Oh, that's not good. That is not good. That's not what we want for this challenge. Nakagami and Luthi getting back past us. We're just going to dive up their insides. down into Scarperia, having a little bit of a moment. Like I said, I've mostly been riding the Red Bull Rookies Cup bikes, so you don't have to worry about the traction too much on them, as we're going to now go up the inside of Franco Morbidelli down into Corintaio. We've actually lost that position. This is meant to be an easy-ish challenge in terms of actually getting past them, but now as we head into Biandetti, they're going side by side, Bautista and, I missed who that was, and I've just got nowhere to go right now. It's actually getting a little bit frustrating. Now down to the final corner, we're trying to go around the outside of Bautista and Carol Abraham, but we're just getting a little bit wide. But now wind on the power and we get around past Abraham and Bautista. Now we can start making up some positions. Scott Redding, we're going to get past him as well. Paul Espargaro is up next on the list. Now we want to pull a long way to the inside because these guys are going to be so early. Oh no, that got a bit scary on the brakes. I am running on standard physics. I think if I was on pro, I probably would have lost the bike there. But we are now up in... I was about to say we're in 11th, but no, we are nowhere near 11th. We are still a lap down. I almost forgot about that. But we are essentially 11th on track because we're going to get past Aleix Espargaro as we head down. Oh, Maverick Vinales, they're going so slow. I have to just tippy-toe around them. I can't really open the bike up like I normally want to. We get past Vinales, or we get caught on the back of Annoni as now we head down to Casanova and we plummet down the hill. Jack Miller, my favourite rider on the grid, of course. Being an Australian, I have to follow Jack, and how can you not like Jack? So now we're going to head up his inside, pick his pocket into Arrabbiata 1. Now we've got Danny Pedrosa up next. We're starting to get towards the front of the field, almost done all the unlapping now, but we're getting a little wide through Arrabbiata 2. I haven't done much riding of these MotoGP bikes on this game yet, as I've been into that career mode quite a lot recently, which, like I said, check it out if you haven't already. Link to all the videos in that series in the description, as well as a playlist. So it's all really easy for you to find, but we're going to look up the inside of Danny Pedrosa down into Corintaio. We get that move done quite nicely. Up next is Johan Zarco getting on the power out of there, as now we flick into the Biandetti chicane. He's going so slowly right in front of us, and we're just being ultra careful. We don't want to just run into the back of him, but up the inside of the last corner we go. Only 4 bikes left for us to unlap ourselves against. Then we can really open it up and try to catch up to these guys. Power on out of the final corner around the outside of Rossi and Cal Crutchlow. Having to use the pit entrance a little bit there, as he wasn't giving me much room to go to use there. As we've got Marquez and Dovi up next ahead of us, and they've already got a bit of a gap on the field. Oh, Dovi's going very slow. We're going to send that up his inside. We came so close to hitting him, but we just got the bike up his inside, and we are now into second on track. 1 bike left for us to lap, and up the inside of Marquez we go as we head down the hill at Casanova, and we are now free to open this factory Ducati up as much as we want. Go try to set some fastest laps of this race and get that whole lap back. We are on lap 3 of 22. Oh, that curb is deadly, I know. In between the 2 Arrabbiatas, if you get wide there, it is so easy to get flicked sky high there off the bike. But now we just need to open this bike up, get some flying laps in, and catch up to these guys. We have a fair few laps to go, but these AI aren't actually as slow as I maybe expected. I did a little bit of practice for this because I needed to learn this track on a MotoGP bike, I will admit, and just to see how slow the AI were, to figure out how long the race would need to be. And I worked out I'm only about 6 seconds quicker than them. I could do 47s, which is only a little bit slower than real life. They were doing 46s, which I could do on the previous game, but like I said, I haven't said in this video, I've said many times on my channel though, it takes a bit of getting used to a new game, and I'm still trying to find the speed, but I should just stop yapping on, because I'm sure you don't want to hear me yapping on. You want to see me overtaking some slow AI and see how bad they are, so I'm going to shut up, get my head down, and try to catch up to them. We are 92 seconds behind Bradley Smith, but we set the fastest lap of the race, a 47.5. It takes a bit of time for me to build up my pace, so we can definitely go a little bit quicker. Hopefully we can dip into the 46s at some stage in today's race. It went from 92 seconds down to 84 seconds up to Bradley Smith, so we gained about 8 seconds on him on that lap alone. As we are heading through the final corner, you can start to hear some of the bikes there just coming out of the second of the Arrabbiatas and heading down towards Scarperia. So we're making some decent progress so far. What is this lap time going to be? It's been a pretty shabby lap, this one. It's a 47.7, but the gap is now down to 76 seconds up to Bradley Smith. While I am watching that gap, obviously, I still have to pass Bradley Smith and every other rider. Again, catching the back of the field is only one part of the puzzle in this challenge. Oh, we can just, oh, we've gone a bit too wide through Casanova as we head down into Cervelli. We can just see a few of the bikes coming through the final corner. That's one of the key points I've been looking for. Wait until I can see the bikes on that opposite part of the track coming through either the final corner or down the hill at Casanova. And I noticed the bikes and just dropped it a little bit wide, but we'll have to wait and see when we head through the final corner if we can see them coming down the hill at Casanova. We've gone a little bit too wide through Pelagio there. Through the final corner we come. Can we see anyone heading through Cervelli? It doesn't look like we can. Not this lap, but maybe the next we'll see some bikes. Also, the gap is now within a minute, 59.8 seconds up to Bradley Smith as we start the 9th lap of 22 of this Italian Grand Prix. Through Casanova we come and down to Cervelli. You can definitely see a lot of bikes there coming through that final corner. So we got a bit caught up there on the curb through Cervelli, I should say, as we head up the hill through the Arab. Oh, that curb again. I've only done that a couple of times, but you got to be so careful when you clip that curb. You definitely don't want to be running over the outside edge of that curb. It is a really deadly curb at this track, but we are definitely starting to catch up. Ooh, a little bit aggressive on the power, the back end wanting to come around there, but we are definitely making a lot of inroad right now. I'd say we can see that if we can see them at through the final corner when they are coming down Casanova and Cervelli on this lap, we're pretty much halfway there to catching them all as we head through the B&W chicane. That is quite a difficult chicane on a MotoGP bike. Now down to the final corner, here is the key moment. Can we see them as we head through the final corner? I'm trying to watch where I'm going and look at that corner, and yes, I can see a few bikes there coming down the hill, making the transition from Casanova into Cervelli. So I'd say we're halfway there as we start the 10th lap of this race, and that wasn't the best lap either, only a 47.8. Up to the line we come to end lap number 11 of 22, the halfway point of the race, and the gap up to Bradley Smith is only 35 seconds now. That's only, we're getting a bit squirrely on the brakes there. It's only going to be a few more laps until we actually catch up to that Red Bull KTM. But that's only one bike. We're getting a little bit loose there. That's only the first of the 23 bikes we have to catch and pass. I'm sure Marquez and Dovi, the front two, are a lot further up the road than Bradley Smith is. So passing him is one thing, but that's not going to win us the race. That's only going to get us from 24th up to 23rd place. This has been a pretty good lap. It is a 1:46.5, and that is our fastest lap of the race, and is only 17 seconds separating us and Bradley Smith. Now it's lap 14 of 22, and we're only probably 2 or 3 laps away from catching that Red Bull KTM. 8 seconds up to Bradley Smith now. It is really not far. Again, we are getting a bit squirrely on the brakes there. Braking down into San Donato is such a tricky braking zone. Such a heavy braking zone, so fast coming off the straight, and such a slow corner. Like, you can just ask Michele Puro about how scary that braking zone is. He had a monster crash there in, I think it was free practice too. I was holding my breath after that. I was seriously worried. That was an insanely big crash. Thankfully, he is okay, but God, that was a scary one. But anyway, back to this race. I think we might have just got a glimpse up ahead of Bradley Smith. There we can just see him as we turn into Casanova. He is heading through Cervelli. He is just up ahead, not far to go before we can start passing bikes. Here we go, we're getting very close to Bradley Smith now, close enough for his little name tag to show up as we're going a bit wide there through the final corner. This is where things get difficult. We're about to start lap 16 of 22, and no longer is it just me out on a racetrack setting. He's going very slowly. I now have to worry about passing bikes, and some very slow moving bikes, as we make a double overtake there as Tom Ludi tries to get back up our inside, but there is no way that is happening as now we have Takaki Nakagami just in front of us on the LCR Honda, trying to find a way past him. Easy as you like, just on the power. AI a lot slower into the corners, through the corners and out of the corners. But on the straights, they get up to max speed, because I assume Milestone think even the worst players can manage holding the throttle on a straight. As now we have Xavier Simeon just in front of us. We head down Casanova into Cervelli, and we have a real stream of bikes just ahead of us up the inside into Arrabbiata 1, and now it is the other Mark VDS bike, Franco Morbidelli, just there is through Arrabbiata 2 we go, try to get a nice exit off here. Can we try something up the inside of Scarperia? Yes, we can, and possibly up the inside of Carol Abraham. We get that move done, and now we've got his teammate Alvaro Bautista just ahead of us. A great exit out of there. I forget the corner name. And up the inside of a few bikes down into Carantayo, including Hafif Siren. And I didn't quite see who the other bike was, but we don't really mind. We are now up into 15th place. See, on that lap, our lap time was only a 48.7. That's a 2-second hit by just having to pass a few bikes, and that could really make it difficult to get up to the leaders. We still have 5 or 6 laps, just under 6 laps to go, but if we're going to be bleeding that much time by trying to pass bikes, it could really hurt us. Of course, the front bikes are a lot faster than the bikes towards the rear of the field. That's pretty obvious. So we've caught these guys quite early. Well, I've gone way too deep into Matarasi, but still, we've still got a long way to go to catch up to the leaders, and now we just have, we have some moving chicanes in the way now as I'm starting to make a few mistakes as I try to commentate, and now we have Pol Espargaro just up ahead of us on the Red Bull KTM as we head through Cervelli and now into Arrabbiata 1. Down in, he's going so slow. Pol Espargaro, we're going to try to go to his outside, which becomes the inside for Pelagio, and we do get that move done. That's where it gets really, really tricky. When you get stuck behind them on the apex, we're up the inside of Danilo Petrucci, the factory Ducati-bound man. He's going to be taking this ride next season, and I am on Jorge Lorenzo's seat as he heads over to Repsol Honda. But now we have Tito Rabat as we head through the Biandetti chicane. Not a good run through there as I went a bit hot into Biandetti 1, but can we send this up the inside of Tito down into the last corner? Yes, we can, and now up into 12th place. Alicia Spargo up next, and then it looks like maybe Jack Miller there on the brink of the top 10. We're about to find out. Of course, the new timing column that comes up for the top 10 at the end of each lap, a really nice feature, although it's not going to come up because the leaders are well past and it has disappeared. We're going to look up the inside of San Donato, and it is in fact Jack Miller, who could have almost ended up on this bike. I would have liked to see him on the factory Ducati, but in a way, him staying at Pramac but getting a GP19 bike could be a really nice combo. Of course, he gets to stay with all of his engineers now, and he doesn't get the pressure of the factory Ducati seat while still having essentially a factory bike. Up next on the hit list is Alex Rins as we're going to try to go up his inside down into Arrabbiata 1, and we get that move done quite nicely, although he's going to think about coming back up our insides. I did take a very tight line into Arrabbiata 1, but through Arrabbiata 2, we're that much faster than this very easy AI. We get that move done, and we are now up into 9th place, and it looks like it's the other Suzuki of Inoni, who is now bound for Aprilia next season, up ahead of us. Nice run out of the final corner. I've got the run on the other Suzuki of Inoni, and we get past him before the line. Now up into 8th place as we start lap number 19 of 22. The third last lap, and we still have another 7 bikes to catch and pass. Are we going to be able to do this? I am not too sure. So the front 3 are already across the line. Then we've got that pack of 4 just in front of us. Then myself, we're about to end lap number 19 and start the third last lap. This could be a real struggle to get on the podium, of course. Now we're getting towards the pointy end of... I thought I was just going to go straight into the back of Maverick Vinales, but I got up his inside and up the inside of Danny Pedrosa, and we're now into 6th place. Up next is Johan Zarco through Luco, and now into Poggio. A bit too much curve there through Poggio Secco, and now we go around the outside of Johan Zarco and up the inside of Cal Crutchlow as we head down to Matarasi. A horrible line there, I won't lie. Turned in way too early, had to pick up the bike, turn in again. Just an absolute shambles. We are now up into 4th place. We have 2.5 laps to try to hunt down the top 3, Rossi, Dovi and Marquez, the 3 on the cover of the game, and those 3 have made a real break at the front of the field. Up to the line to start the second last lap, and the gap is 7 seconds up to Valentino Rossi in 3rd. This is going to be very, very close to if we can get onto the podium and win today's Italian Grand Prix. Under 2 laps to go now. We have the Doctor in our sights, but it looks like he is all on his lonesome right now, and I can't quite see the front 2. They're just crossing the line now all the way up there. We've caught him probably 6 seconds on Rossi, and we are almost 7. We're still so far back off the front 2. We're just going to send this up the inside of Valentino down at San Donato. Such an easy move. But now we have to sweat it out on this final lap. I'm not convinced we are going to be able to do this. There they are. You can just see them just briefly on screen. You're going to be able to see them as we come out of Poggio Secco up there as they head into Materassi. Out of the Biandetti chicane, 1 corner to go. It's 0.8 of a second separating myself and Dovizioso and Marquez. They're right there. We're right on the back of them. Surely we're going to get them once we wind on the power. Out of the final corner, we come past Dovizioso. We've got the run on Marquez. Are we going to get this? It's going to be so close, and yes, we just get him. Oh my god, that was so close. So much closer than I expected this challenge to be. And we have gone and done it. The slowest AI challenge. We got lapped off the start, unlapped ourselves, caught back up and passed every single rider to win the race. And it was only a matter of tenths in it there in the end. Less than tenths. 41 thousandths of a second separated myself and Marquez there in the end. That came so much closer than I expected, but we managed to do it. Almost a photo finish there. You can just see how much faster I was there. A 1:46.5 was my best lap, and Marquez a 1:53.2, 7 seconds slower than myself. Coming into this challenge, I didn't expect this slowest AI to be that quick. I thought I'd be able to do this in like a 35 or 50% race, but we've had to do it in a 100% race, and even then we only just did it like by 41 thousandths of a second. That's how close it came. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this challenge, this video. We've seen how slow the slowest AI are, and they're faster than I did expect, and it made a very interesting challenge. It got very difficult. Like, catching them was one thing, which was quite easy looking at the differential in my time, but then you start having to pass them, and they're so slow on the racing line. They're like mobile chicanes there, and on a bike compared to a car, it is quite difficult to sort of maneuver around a mobile chicane on the racing line. So I did what I could, and I just managed to do it. It came so close, and I hope you guys did enjoy this challenge. If you did, make sure you do smash that like button. Of course, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you do subscribe for much more MotoGP 18 content. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.
These days, the podium is extremely valuable. MotoGP has never had so many competitive riders at the same time. Today, they were at their best, and they deserve to celebrate. The level of the championship is only getting better. Consistent results seem to be the secret to a good season.